Hey, today I have a super special Gita's Kitchen. We're going to talk about essential oils and what you can do with them, and which is kind of infinite. It's really like the quickest, easiest way of healing so many things, and these last few years I've gotten more and more into it, and I cannot believe how effective and insane and wondrous, and it's like a miracle in a little bottle. And I got my friend Heidi here today, who works with oils every day. She is a Reiki practitioner, and you really incorporates the oils to help people in a spiritual, unblocking, healing way. But we're gonna touch on a lot of different way of how to use it. So I can get you guys excited about oils. So Heidi, explain more about what you do with them.
Okay, I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
It's my pleasure.
I think that essential oils there's a real conversation about them these days. They're a little bit trendy right now, which is wonderful. If plant medicine can be trendy, I'm all about it. But I think there's so much that people don't know. I think a lot of people are familiar maybe from an aromatherapy standpoint, but it goes so much deeper than that, and I'm really excited to dig into the real physical and emotional benefits that they can offer us. So there's good stuff to talk about today.
Well, before we get started,
yeah.
Do you have any peppermint oil by any chance?
Why, of course I do.
Because this is, when I first got interested in oils, it was because I did this.
Yes.
And it's literally, this will make your brain suddenly work no matter what. You got brain fog?
Yeah. I love it. And on a hot day, I don't know about everybody out there,
oh my God.
But it is hot today.
You breathe it in. So cooling, so stimulating. It really switches you on like that.
It's amazing. If you want to, we can go into some of the oils that are like my go-tos. Like I call them my go-to medicine cabinet oils, like the ones that can kind of do anything that's going to come up for me from day to day. So this is a really fun one to start with because, like you said, it's just one of those it's almost like smelling salts. Like it's going to get you right in your body. It's so good for focus. And on a hot day, it is literally cooling. It can bring down our body temperature. So you can put a drop in some water. Even just inhaling it is very cooling.
Yeah, because it's actually extremely potent. So you cannot, I do it on top of my hair because straight on the skin it's way too much.
Yeah, it's great for headaches. It's great for relieving tension and oxygenating the muscles. If you have a sore muscle, you can massage into your muscles. But for headache tension, you can just kind of dab on site wherever you have tension. But for me, honestly, I find it too strong to dab on my temples or the center of my forehead. It makes my eyes water. So I just kind of do behind my ears or wherever I have neck tension, and that helps a lot. Yeah, so it's
even
really,
just
really great.
Breathing it in deeply, it immediately switches how you're feeling.
I could smell it from here, and I didn't even use any, but it just kind of fills the room, and it's so calming and cooling. And really invigorating too. I love that you said it just kind of wakes you up, because it really is very helpful for invigorating the body and blood circulation and things like that. So
it's great for keeping away little creepy crawlies.
Yes, it's part.
That's why I'm putting it on little dogs.
Yes, for a natural bug repellent. It's helpful as part of for plant care. I use it on my plants. I'll put some in some water and spray on my plants, and it keeps pests away. So
just a few drops in a spray.
In a small, maybe 12 or 16 ounce spray bottle, I'll do 10 drops of peppermint.
Amazing.
And then just mist on my plants, from time to time.
And so peppermint within cleaning the house, you can use it like that as well, right?
Yeah, although we'll get into some others that are more of the cleansing oils. But maybe before I go there, I'll just say a couple housekeeping safety tips. So the oils that I work with, you'll see there's a trend here in the brand. This is my preferred brand for the work that I do. But really what I would advise anyone when you're shopping for oils, the recommendations that I'm going to make today and that we're going to talk about today, as far as using them to impact your physical health, immunity, emotional wellness, things like that, you really want a pharmaceutical grade oil. You want,
this
is
a brand called doTERRA.
Yes.
And I believe it's all organic, right?
Yeah, it's organic. It's completely pure. They publish all of their testing online. It's accessible to the public, so you can see that everything is completely pure. You want a pure oil so that you're getting a safe product, a completely unadulterated, non-toxic product, but also just the integrity of the plant. You want a plant that's been picked at the right time, under the right conditions, that's been harvested in a certain way, that's been pressed in a certain way and cultivated in a certain way, that you're going to get the real integrity of that medicine. So you just want to, when you're shopping for your oils, really dig in, ask questions, make sure you're getting a very, very pure
organic
product.
And that it's pure and that it's a reputable company.
Yeah.
As we said, doTERRA is definitely amongst the best.
Yeah.
But depending on where you live,
yeah, and there are a lot of small batch, you might have a favorite person in your area, someone local who's doing small batch oils, and so, definitely support them, but just ask a lot of questions about their process and their testing procedures and making sure that you're getting a completely 100% pure product. Mainly because I, of course, am concerned for your safety, but I want you to get results, right?
Yeah.
And so especially when I'm working with clients.
Well, basically, if it's not working, it's because it's probably the wrong oil.
Right. So I want you, especially as we get into talk about anxiety and things like that, well, if someone just goes to Whole Foods and buys an oil, I'm sorry to say that those are not designed for medicinal purposes. Yeah. So you're not going to get the performance that I'm going to talk about today.
That.
Yeah, don't do that.
Because this, I'm telling you, you have a cold coming, instant. You can heal that instantly with essential oils.
That's amazing.
So it's like, this is your medicine cabinet.
This is my medicine cabinet.
Yeah.
Since I began working with oils, I have not used chemical medication in almost 3 years. So, and I've had sinus infections, I've had food poisoning.
If you have a sinus infection, what would you do straight away?
So straight away, oregano oil. So this is a natural antibiotic, antiviral, antifungal, antibacterial. This is like the big guns when it comes to immunity.
Instead of antibiotics, this is it.
Fighting infection. Yeah.
So I know you can drink it.
Yeah.
I know you can diffuse it.
Yeah.
But it's so strong, you wouldn't want to put it straight.
Yeah, so there are 3 ways that I like to use the oils. Again, pharmaceutical grade oils. So read your labels. A lot of them will say not for consumption, not safe, for topical application. That's a clue right there. If it says that it's not safe to consume and it's not safe to apply topically, well then that makes me wonder what is in this thing. Then this can't possibly be a pure product. Because if it's pure, these are plants. So why can't I put oregano in my body? It's oregano. So if it's telling me that it's not safe to ingest, then that makes me question what exactly is going on with this oregano.
Yeah, and basically if it's too cheap, you gotta also wonder, because this is like extremely potent.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of plants to produce just that much.
Yeah, like 50 lemons in one tiny bottle of lemon oil. So
and that'll last you so long as well. So.
Yeah, because they are so potent, you can use a little bit.
Concentrated.
So you can be using them topically. So that's either massaging them into your skin if you have a muscle ache or things like that. You can just apply on your feet or the back of your neck. Like we said with the peppermint oil, maybe you take a drop and you just apply where you have tension. Maybe you, for immunity, some people don't like the oregano oil because it's so strong. You're going to smell like pizza all day.
It actually once healed, I think I was getting pneumonia. There was like a cold I couldn't get rid of for months and months. And I went to the local juice bar. They gave me a shot. They were like, you got to come here 6 days in a row. By like the 4th day, it was completely gone.
I love that. Yeah, this is for fighting infection. This is amazing. But you can, we have meridians. Anyone who's familiar with reflexology, there are meridians in the bottoms of our feet and in our hands that access all of our different organs and neural pathways and things. So you can massage oils in the bottoms of your feet, and they're going to get where they need to go, and they're going to do their healing magic, and you never have to ingest them. You don't have to find the exact right place. So for anything that's generalized, like infection, immunity, things like that, bottoms of your feet, and then you don't have to worry about how you smell. You just put shoes on, and no one has to know you smell like a pizza. So for anything that's like, if you're wanting to impact, you know, gut health, cellular health, things like that, things that are sort of generalized, bottoms of your feet is fine. So topical applications. If you're wanting to target like pain relief, like for a muscle or a headache or things like that, then you're gonna want to apply on site. So you're gonna want to like massage directly into that muscle. If you have a cut or a burn, you're gonna want to apply right directly to that cut or burn.
What would you put on a cut?
So that would be lavender. This is amazing for skin oils, for anything skin related. Lavender, people think of this as like the calming, soothing sleep,
but it's so good for the skin.
Which it is, but it's also a really tremendous
It honestly
skin oil.
helps like heal your wound.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, obviously make sure it's closed first, right? And then like it just speeds up the healing process so much.
And even if it's open, when I first get a cut, because I do my best to look like a girl, but I'm very outdoorsy. I'm a tomboy, so I have my fair share of scrapes and bruises and cuts. I'm very outdoorsy. I love camping, and I'm constantly hurting myself. So lavender is in my backpack at all times. And when you get a cut, you can apply it directly on it. Again, provided that it is a pure pharmaceutical grade oil. You don't want to put obviously any other chemicals or anything in an open wound, but if it is pure lavender, you can apply right on site. I just take like a little like that. This is a cat scratch from my new rescue cat. So a little lavender right on there, and that's going to help to promote healing, close it up, cleanse it. Yeah, it's that simple.
It's that simple. And actually, when we talk about lavender, I put it on the bottom of my feet at night, and I used to have the best sleep from that. I'll put it on Little Dog. Initially, he was like, ugh! And he was like, oh my God, give me that stuff. Just to like chill him out and like make sure no fleas would come.
Yeah, lavender is another one that's great for as like a natural insect repellent and flea repellent, things like that. I use it on my dog all the time. It's great for dogs that have like separation anxiety and dogs that are a little skittish.
And because it actually is instantly good for anxiety.
Yeah,
right?
It's very good for grounding the nervous system. Lavender is like #1 for calming and soothing. And soothing not only, so it's soothing our nervous system, but also it has very soothing properties for skin. Eczema, psoriasis, rosacea, anything like that. It's an anti-inflammatory. It also has natural antihistamine. So again, that anti-inflammatory response. So anyone who has allergies, that's like a great allergy intervention. So yeah, and actually for allergies, well, I will say for skin, more on the first aid side of skin stuff, and more of the like rashes and things like that. Eczema, psoriasis, anything that's presenting that way on the skin, then I like to pair with Melaleuca, tea tree, which I think a lot of people are familiar with.
Well.
This is also antibacterial and antifungal, and this is a really, really good one for, again, cleansing. This is another one that I would stick on a cut if I had it. Really good for cleansing.
And this is good for like
and promoting
skin,
healing. Yeah.
For
anyone who has
hair.
acne, this is a great one for if you just like apply right on site, or you can use like in a
carrier oil.
Yeah.
So a carrier oil is basically something like this that you would then mix a drop, no, more than a drop, a few drops, and that way you get a very like mild, soothing portion you can put on daily, right?
Yeah, so the carrier oil is great. So we have the essential oil, which is like the medicine that we're going to be using, but then we have a carrier oil that we mix it with so that we can maybe stretch it a little farther. We can impact a larger surface area. Because we're working with essential oils that are so potent, you really only need a drop, maybe 2 drops in order to get to make the impact that you need. And so if you have digestive issues, for example, say you're really bloated, well, 1 drop It's not going to get very far if you want to massage.
One drop of what, though?
Fennel or ginger or peppermint are all great for digestion.
So you would put it straight on your belly, or put it
so
in a
you
drink?
you could put a drop in a glass of water and take it that way, and that's gonna really directly impact. Some people don't like the taste of fennel or anything, so that's fine. You can also just massage wherever you have discomfort,
because your skin is always gonna absorb.
Whatever. I mean, within under 30 seconds, it's in your bloodstream and it's doing what it needs, which is why we want such a pure product, because just think anything you put on your skin is in your bloodstream in under 30 seconds. Yeah. So
be careful what you put on your skin, because it is going to go in your bloodstream.
Going right to your cells.
And all of this is super potent medicine that works instantly, way before you can even say pharmaceutical, let alone get down to like Rite Aid to buy some shitty, crappy, chemically produced scary thing. All of this does way more than a whole pharmaceutical, I swear.
And in fact, that was my first introduction to essential oils as medicine. I was using them like in the bath and for aromatherapy, but I was not familiar with them on this level. But I got food poisoning on a trip home from West Africa. I had a meat pie from the side of the road on my way out of town to the airport, which is a really bad idea. And I had 36 hours of food poisoning on international flights. I was like crying on the floor of an airplane bathroom. It was not cute. And when I got home, my friend who was watching my dog, she was in my apartment, and I was just in tears. I couldn't keep water down, nothing. And she was like, I got you, you're gonna be okay. And she gave me some, it was a doTERRA oil. It was their digestive blend, but mainly fennel based, and also had ginger and mint and other oils in it. And I couldn't ingest anything. I couldn't keep anything down, so she had me just massage it on my stomach. And within 30 minutes, I was able to drink like bone broth and then have some soup, and I was completely fine by the end of that night. I was like, what is this magic that you just gave me? This is amazing.
I mean, there's activated charcoal, I travel with that, so that sorts all that stuff out. I could eat anything poisonous and have it gone in 20 minutes. It's like essential. I even got a spider bite last week. And I started just applying the charcoal. So I was using activated charcoal to draw the poison out. And then tea tree oil. And it really, honestly, and lavender. And it really, really, really helped it heal so fast. Like, it's totally gone now.
I love that. And that's a reminder, too, that, like, yes, these are the foundation of my medicine cabinet, but I'm just down with holistic remedies and resources in general, and I often will pair the oils with other resources.
Everything is treatable. Everything.
Colloidal silver, things like that. So there are so many great ways that you can pair these with other solutions to get like really powerful healing. So
Now, so let's talk about. Okay, so let's go back to your sinus infection. You used oil of oregano?
I did. So there are two things. So the oregano is my go-to and also clove when I'm thinking of immunity.
Cloves
and lemon.
Clove is amazing. You have a toothache?
So good for dental health.
So good. But almost too good. It was so good that I could get away with not dealing with a tooth for a long time. And unfortunately I lost it with the help of the clove oil, because I could not feel the pain at all.
That's amazing. Too good. I love that. Too good. So there's the immunity side of it when we're attacking something like that. But then there's also ear, nose, and throat support, right? So Melaleuca, tea tree, I think of this as like the ear, nose, and throat oil. So ear infections, I'll apply, down the tube there. It helps to drain over the sinuses.
Right here.
So they're over the top of my ear there, and then I'll just pull it down the ear.
And would you put it just straight on? Or do you?
Yes, you could do it straight on. For this, I will use it just neat, just straight. Also over the sinuses. If you find it to be a little too overpowering when it's that close to your eyes, because it does have that kind of menthol, it's very astringent. So you could dilute in a tiny bit of carrier oil. Carrier oil, again, is just any neutral oil. It could be olive
coconut,
oil,
olive oil, castor oil,
argan oil, jojoba oil, rose hip. There's so many, whatever
whatever
your preferred,
oil you have.
Yeah,
like
whatever your preferred oil is.
Organic and not old. You don't want rancid oil.
Yes,
you gotta make sure it's like fresh.
Yeah. Yeah, and something that's sort of lightweight and non-greasy, so you don't have to worry about it on your clothes and things like that. And you just need like a few drops, just enough to like get a little more coverage and dilute them a little bit. So I will do over the sinuses, the ears, but also if you have a sore throat, this is a great one to just like gargle and then swallow.
And
it's
good for gum health,
soothing.
for gingivitis.
Yeah, so soothing. And also for sinus help, you can put a couple drops, like 1 or 2 in your palms, rub in your palms and inhale through the nose. That's going to get it up in the sinuses. Or if you do a neti rinse, if you use neti pots, then this is a great one. Just throw a drop in your neti rinse. A drop is plenty. It can burn if you do more than that. So
a neti rinse or a neti thing is, explain what that is.
Okay, so it's like a little, everybody's going to be like Googling neti pots now. But it's like a little tiny ceramic pot. With like sort of a long nose, and you just make like a saline solution essentially. So again, you want to make sure you're using medical grade salts, but boiled water, boiled filtered water, some salts. You can find all the proportions online if you Google them. It's only like a quarter teaspoon of salt, I believe. And then I'll throw in 1 drop of the melaleuca, and then you pour it into your nose. It flushes your sinus cavities. So you like tip, there's a whole little technique. Tip your head over the sink, put the nose of the neti pot in one nostril, and then you're going to flush. It's a fun little science experiment because everything's going to flush and come out the other side of your nose, and then you do the other side, and it flushes your sinuses and helps with everything that we're breathing in.
Toxins.
Yeah, so good, especially if you live in a city.
Yeah.
Everything that we're breathing. So yeah, it's really, really cleansing.
So, okay.
Yeah. And then as far as like respiratory health, again, peppermint. I have eucalyptus here, which is a favorite for people. That's a great one if you want to massage over your chest or inhale.
Eucalyptus is what I use for if I ever get an oncoming cold, which is really rare actually.
Yeah.
But like this, instantly you steam it, breathe it in, and you're instant relief.
Yeah.
Better than any pill.
Yeah. Anytime we're wanting to impact sinuses and chest stuff, inhaling is really helpful just to get that direct, like right up in your sinuses, right in your lungs. To inhale really deeply is so powerful. Yeah, that's a good one.
So we understand like whatever ailment you have, we really like probably can deal with most of it here.
Yeah.
But there's also, essential oils also have a lot of mention in the Bible.
Yeah.
There's some very sacred oils that maybe you could talk about a little bit.
Yeah, so this is fun for me. This speaks a little more to my work, sort of the spiritual and emotional healing, energetic healing, spiritual healing side of my work. And I also just think it's a really cool way to connect with the oils and connect to I don't know, another time in our heritage and our ancestors. And so all of that is, I mean, these oils go back to like hundreds of years.
Thousands of years.
BC. I mean, it's amazing how,
like frankincense, it's meant
frankincense and myrrh. I mean, anyone who is like familiar with the Bible and Christian traditions, you know, these were gifts that were brought to baby Jesus. I mean, these were used in biblical times. They were used in ancient Egypt. Cleopatra using frankincense and myrrh for her skin, and
it's meant. So I believe frankincense is really meant to clear any negative energy.
Yeah,
it's a slight hallucinogenic.
Oh, that's so
it is. Yeah, it's slightly psychoactive. So you like
as far as
it's
really
good for
like
meditation.
transporting you. Yeah, it's great for meditation.
Yeah, and it's meant to even help heal cancer.
Yeah, because it's actually, and this is one, frankincense, I feel like if you can only own one oil, own frankincense, because it can do anything. So I have it standing out here, but it really belongs in the medicine cabinet too, because it is amazing for cellular health and neurological health. So that's a really, really, that's a powerful one to have for preventative care and also for anti-aging support and cellular support. It's really cool.
And with the frankincense, you just smell like how diffuse.
Yeah. So as far as any spiritual support, emotional support, inhalation
so
is
diffuser.
best.
This is a diffuser.
Yeah, so this diffuser, which again, I'm seeing these everywhere now, which is wonderful. Diffusers from a physiological standpoint, diffusing oils can help cleanse airborne pathogens, and so they're really great just for cleansing a room and filling the room. But they're also just really pleasing. Yeah, if you want to be diffusing any scents that are very uplifting, that's going to help a lot with like motivation, alertness, focus, anti-depression, things like that. So this is really fun because, you know, these oils, they smell good. Like at the end of the day, aren't they just a fun solution because they smell good? So the diffuser really makes the best of that aspect of the oils. You really get to enjoy their aroma and the healing nature of their aroma too. So the diffuser is awesome. Also, just putting a couple drops in your palms and cupping over your nose and inhaling is really powerful because you're accessing that olfactory nerve, which is then connecting to the limbic system in your brain. And that's going to impact mood balancing and any like emotional health. That's where it's really going to be like a meditation aid because it's actually interacting with your nervous system directly. So that's really powerful. And when I lead aromatherapy meditations, and that's always what I have. You know, I'll just put a drop in everyone's palm. We cup over the nose, do some deep inhales, and then that's going to drop us into the meditation. Yeah.
So if you're like stuck in traffic, really like stressed out, very angry, take some frankincense and just smell it. You can have it in the car and just like chill out.
Yeah.
Find the divine inner self and feel the love and let go of fear and stress. Stress just produces fear, and fear is when we start to disconnect from one another. So the whole aim of this life is to learn to be in love all the time with everyone. So I don't mean like sexual love, I mean spiritual love. Yeah, the oneness.
Yeah.
So
so in that case, yes, the frankincense is there are a few oils I've isolated here as being quite divine that really are going to impact like our spiritual selves. So I have frankincense and myrrh, which again, this is not a surprise, right? These have had spiritual applications since like the beginning of time. So frankincense we think of as, some people call this the king, and myrrh is the queen. Wow. Frankincense will impact the divine masculine, and myrrh is impacting the divine feminine. And I know we're getting like a little heady here, but really on a very basic level, I tell people if you have some daddy issues, break out the frankincense. If you have some mommy issues, break out the myrrh. Also, if you're trying to access those parts of yourself, if you're wanting to be more like softer and receiving, the myrrh is going to help with that. If you're wanting to be a little more assertive and stimulate more confidence and that masculine energy, that go-getter, then the frankincense is going to help with that. And both are really powerful for just like grounding your nervous system and helping to balance that like yin and yang. So the two of those are awesome.
I mean, honestly, I know this sounds like very out there and crazy if you haven't worked with the oils, but if you have any essential oils in your house, if you just go smell them, you will, and you're paying attention, you will realize what it does immediately.
Yeah.
And it's so instant that it's almost unbelievable.
Yeah.
So what else you got?
Which to me speaks to the power of that limbic system and the olfactory nerve. It's just amazing how our bodies are designed to like just take that medicine and immediately put it to use. It really, when we're inhaling them, they really do have an immediate impact.
Yeah,
which is
it's wild.
Awesome. Yeah. So then I also have here ylang ylang. Are you familiar with that one?
A little
and
bit.
This is the oil of the inner child. So I call this like the divine family. So if you're really wanting to heal childhood stuff or just access more play and freedom in your life, if you're feeling a little stuck, if you're having trouble accessing joy,
I need more joy.
Yeah, who doesn't need more joy or play, right? Adulting is hard. Adulting is hard sometimes. Yeah. So the ylang ylang, it's really good for just activating that sort of just loving with abandon, playing for the sake of playing without any attachment to results, just being creative for the sake of being creative, and really just harnessing that beautiful child energy that is just very free. So that's a really important and healing one. And then we have clary sage. I love this. And physiologically, this one is amazing for hormone balancing. This is a really powerful one for women and for gynecological health and hormone balancing. But what I also love is that it is really, really effective for opening intuition and vision and inner wisdom. A little on the third eye there. Yeah, okay. Open up that vision. But I always love the synergy between their physiological benefits and their emotional benefits. I just think it's very powerful as a woman that this happens to be like the oil for women's health, and it also directly correlates to intuition. So that women's intuition is like a real thing.
So are you saying if you can't get pregnant, put it like...
Absolutely. Wow. Yeah, this is really helpful for fertility and hormone balancing.
Nice.
And yeah, it's amazing, amazing. Or anyone who happens to have like endometriosis or any other complications, fibroids, things like that. This is going to be one that's very, very healing.
But of course, they won't have fibroid if they're following what I tell them.
That's right.
Do
everything she tells you.
Fruits and vegetables.
Yeah.
Organic.
Yeah.
You won't have any of that.
Yes, and thank you for mentioning that, because, and I bring this to my clients as well, that natural healing, plant medicine, we have to shift away from the prescriptive approach to wellness, right? Where like, I wait until I don't feel well and then I do something and I want one dose that's going to make me feel better. This is more of a lifestyle. Yeah. This is like every day making friends with these tools and these resources and creating a wellness lifestyle and not using them like in isolation when we need to address one thing, but just like always eating that clean diet and getting good sleep and meditating and using the oils and then of course as things come up, yes, of course address them. We have tools to address them, but that we've created a beautiful foundation.
Yeah. Well, what convinced me about plant medicine before I really lived this life or ate these plants or understood nature in that way was ayahuasca. It showed me what plant medicine can do. Yeah. And then I started to realize every food we eat has its own properties.
Yeah.
And that is plant medicine, and that is the dieta.
Yeah.
And if you understand how to eat for certain illnesses, you can immediately heal it. Yeah. But the oils are like part of that, complementary to that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, absolutely. I know. Plants are powerful.
That's for sure. What else have you got in
your
spiritual bag?
Okay, so in the spiritual bag, I have spikenard for gratitude. This is so great. This is interesting. And this is also another one that goes back to like ancient times. This was one that was used to prepare someone to transition when if they're in
you gotta have that
death.
For the end.
Yeah, so it's a really powerful one for in like hospice care and things like that, and helping people to make a peaceful transition. And then also a lot of these oils were used in like embalming bodies and sacred ritual, sort of ushering someone to the other side. So these have real like sacred significance in that way. And then Melissa oil. This is the oil of light, and I love that one because that's really going to... I work a lot with the chakra systems, and so that's a great one just for spiritual connection.
And where do you put this? On your crown?
So I inhale, and then I'll also do like my forehead or my heart, so that's going to help to open. But inhaling is really powerful. Yeah, little dog. You're so spiritual, I can tell.
He's the guru.
He is, I know. Dogs are amazing. And it's really cool to see how the dogs react to the oils. Like, they know.
I mean, by the way, like, you don't really need chemical flea stuff if you can just use the oils to, like, prevent flea.
Yeah.
I mean, the fleas will appear, then you just put it on.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
If you don't put it on enough, they will come. But if you, like, make sure you do it on a regular basis, they won't.
Yeah, and I will say the only oil that you really have to use that I would say avoid is Melaleuca for dogs. But kind of everything else is fair game. Dogs are pretty resilient and their immune systems.
What would you use for fleas, your top oil?
Yeah, so for fleas I'll use lavender, I'll use some peppermint, I'll use geranium. That's a great one as a flea repellent.
And they learn to love it.
That's it. Yeah, and I don't use anything else. My dog I'm super active with her, and that's it. We just use the oils.
Yeah, even for like ticks and stuff, if you have oils with you, you can like get it off
Yeah.
the skin. Right?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, usually some lavender will help to loosen it and get them off. But also just for like joint issues and stuff, because I have a tiny dog too, and they're always like having joint issues and knee issues, it seems like. So just a little bit of peppermint massaging into her joints, and it's really helpful to like support her.
Okay, well listen, is there, what is like, is there any warning, like don't do this, or, you know, like what should they be careful working with these oils?
I mean, more than anything, I can't reiterate enough that it's really important to be using a pure product.
The quality.
The quality for your own safety, because I would hate for someone to walk away from this and be inhaling oils that are not safe. So please read labels.
I imagine like things like very sensitive areas.
Yes. Okay. So there are some we call them hot oils that you want to be careful with. Clove, oregano, cinnamon. Those are the only three that I can really think of off the top of my head. Those are like the real heavy hitters. But those actually, they are quite hot. You will know immediately that you've done the wrong thing. I once took oregano oil and applied it topically on my lip and was like, that was a bad idea. So you always want to be diluting them. You probably don't want to use them in the bath because they're gonna have like a burning sensation. But again, the bottoms of our feet are fine. Yeah. So you can totally massage the bottoms of your feet. Some people don't have a problem diluting them in water, using them in water. Certainly if you're using them in food, because these are food grade, it's really fun to be using them in sauces
2
and
or
teas.
3 drops, that's probably enough.
Yeah,
right?
So that's plenty. Yeah, that's plenty. So
yeah,
beware
so
of the hot
like
oils.
Wild orange is amazing for food.
I love that. And right now, a big thing for me, because it's so hot out, is I'll brew some iced tea and then I'll add oils to that. So,
like lavender?
Or like right now I'm doing ginger. Like I made a hibiscus tea and then added some ginger, or I've added, wild orange and things like that. It's really nice to have those citrus oils to consume. You could put them in your water. The citrus oils actually are quite cleansing for our endocrine system, very detoxifying. So you could just put a drop in water and be doing that all day long to be cleansing. Or for like yoga, it's really nice if you're in like a hot yoga class or something, put some citrus oils in your water bottle and it's like kind of cooling and uplifting.
When I was in Costa Rica just recently, and I was using a lot of like the citrus to just keep bugs away. I was just applying it. It was amazing. Yeah. It felt so good.
Yeah, lemon is really an easy one for that. Lemon, I call it the gateway oil. It's just so easy. People already use, a lemon wedge in their water, and this is so much more medicinally potent. So it's like...
So let's say I'm making guacamole.
Yeah.
I can put some lemon in, some lime.
Yeah, definitely. I use lime oil for that. Yeah. And that's great because then you're getting the medicine in like such a fun way. You just want to be careful in that case. The temperature can kill the medicinal properties.
As I told you, don't cook food. It's medicine. You're going to turn it and it may even become toxic. So be very careful with heating stuff.
Yeah, so in this case, the worst you'll do is just kill the medicinal value. Some people like to make like, say, peppermint brownies or something. So yeah, they're going to have a wonderful peppermint taste, but you're not going to have the medicine. But if you want to use them in a vinaigrette, put them in a vinaigrette, put them in guacamole, something like that, in your water, in some tea. Be careful with the temperature of the tea. You want to make sure that it's like below 100 degrees, but yeah, they're so great if you're taking them raw.
Let's say I come to you and say, oh my God, I'm having a panic attack. I'm not feeling good. I can't breathe. My heart is racing. What would you do?
I would give you peppermint to inhale, and that's going to literally help open your airways, and it's going to help you feel like you can breathe, so that you're not going to have that urgency of the constricted breathing. And then I'm also going to give you frankincense on the bottoms of your feet and also along your spine, and that's going to ground your nervous system. Nice. But then I'm also going to give you flowers. So I'm so grateful you brought up anxiety, because this is my little anxiety plate.
The world is
and that's funny because when I got into this line of work, that was I started just using them from just a biological, physiological health perspective, and then quickly every conversation, people would come to me and say, I'm having trouble sleeping, my stomach hurts, this and that, and every one of those conversations would end in a conversation about anxiety. So it's like okay, your stomach's hurting, but it's hurting because you're anxious. Okay, yeah, you're having trouble breathing. You're having trouble breathing because you're anxious. You're not sleeping because you're anxious. So
everything begins with these.
Yes. So what I see, the trend that I see is like two ends of the anxiety spectrum. One being like the more depressive manifestation, which is, you know, just feeling really sluggish and low, and you just want to pull the covers over your head, and just very like suppressed energy, having a really hard time motivating, difficulty with like thinking and clarity, things like that. And in that case, the citrus oils are really powerful. Inhaling them, again, for emotional health is the best strategy. So yeah, you could be diffusing for sure, and then also a couple drops in your palm and inhaling. And wild orange is like my go-to. It's naturally anti-anxiety, and it's just like, oh, that hit. Good. Yeah, that hit of citrus.
I know, that's a lot, but it's like
beautiful. Yeah, I'm going to do it too, because you just can't have too much. But it's like instantly, it's so enlivening. That's like a really, really great thing in the immediate moment if you're just really feeling like that sort of
so you
cloak
can, again,
of depression.
You can carry it around and just like as you're feeling anxious, just use it.
Yeah, definitely. In the car, I keep them in my purse for sure. Just always have them on me. So any citrus oils, lemon, grapefruit, lime, orange, those are all going to be super uplifting. Same with mint, spearmint, peppermint. Really uplifting. Also great for if you have any sort of dissociation, just having trouble like being in your body. That's a great way. The peppermint is a great way to like, get back in your body and,
like grounding,
and be grounded in your body. And then as far as grounding anxiety, if you're in the other end of the spectrum where it's like, oh my God, I don't know what's going to happen, like fear, can't quiet my mind, can't sleep, can't anything. So like
racing thoughts.
Yes, racing thoughts, can't quiet my mind. Then tree oils, which I just love that because it makes sense, right? Like these beautiful trees and they're how grounding they are, those roots in the ground, just the years and years of wisdom that they have. And yeah, of course. So their nervous system speaks to our nervous system. And so I consider these to be like vitamins, especially anyone who lives in a city. Yeah, of course we're going to have anxiety because we're not interacting with trees like we're meant to. So that's
go hug a tree in nature.
Go hug a tree. It
but
really does help your nervous system.
If you can't,
then this is like tree vitamins, and that's going to help to ground your nervous system. So again, inhaling Douglas fir, I just love. It smells like a sweet little Christmas tree. Again, on your spine, that's going to help to get it up and supporting your nervous system, but then also inhaling, and that's going to help to ground anxiety, help you to quiet the mind and drop into like a little bit of a softer state.
I thought it's supposed to prevent bugs.
I know.
Just fly.
I know. Sometimes it can do the opposite. Sometimes bugs are like, this smells like a flower, so you'll get bees and ladybugs and all kinds of people coming around. And so then to meet in the middle as far as just needing soothing and comfort and calming, if you just really need like a hug, then the hug oils are flowers. So we have geranium. This is so good for trust. That's a great heart opener. We have some magnolia, jasmine, which, I mean, who doesn't want to like stick their face in a jasmine bush every time you walk by? This is like one of my favorites. Oh my gosh. So yeah, the florals are so good for supporting the heart, for grief. Really, really good for supporting the heart. Any trust issues, sadness, grief, shame, consolation, support. Anytime you're needing that hug, then the florals are good. So between the three of those, citrus, florals, and the tree oils, that's pretty much going to support anywhere you land on the anxiety spectrum. And I made you a blend. Oops. I am loved.
Oh my God.
So that you have a little something.
Oh my God.
Yes, and it has a little bit of everything because, of course, nobody is one thing, right? On any given day, you can be feeling anxious and depressed, and you need a hug, and you want all of it. So yeah, so that has geranium and jasmine. Oh,
Thank
good.
you.
It has some wild orange, and it has some Douglas fir. So it's a bunch of my go-tos from here. So yeah, that's a great one to roll on your heart if you're really wanting to impact anxiety. I recommend inhaling. I recommend rolling on the spine, rolling on the bottoms of your feet, which is quite grounding, but also on the heart. That's a really good one to just like connect with yourself. Take a moment to breathe really deeply.
You're so sweet. I'm gonna carry that with me.
Good. Oh my gosh.
Now, if people want to like check out your website and do a session with you,
Yeah, I would love that.
Yeah, tell us how they can find
you. Let's do it. Okay, so I'm Heidi Lisa Edsel, and my website is www.peaceloveplantshealing.com. So my company is Peace Love Plants. That's me.
Amazing.
So peaceloveplantshealing.com. I'm also on Instagram _peaceloveplants_. And I have a Facebook group, which is also Peace Love Plants. And that's fun because we do a lot of education. I do aromatherapy meditations on there. So there's education on the Instagram site. It also crosses over and pairs with the Facebook group. And then my website has more information about my treatments. I use aromatherapy in my treatments.
Let's say people wanted a Reiki from you.
Yeah.
How much would that cost where you're using these oils to like balance people's chakras?
Yeah, so my treatments, it's not just the Reiki. I pull in the therapeutic aromatherapy, and we also do some writing to process whatever's coming up with you. So it's kind of a multi-pronged treatment. And it's $100 for 75 minutes.
So there you go.
Yeah.
So check her website out.
We can do remote treatments. We just do stuff over the phone, and I can do stuff through the airwaves because we're all connected, which is crazy. And then I do workshops and things like that, and of course consultations if you want to figure out how to customize, a protocol for whatever's going on with you.
Well, I mean, wherever you live, you're probably going to have someone who's working with oils that's going to be very informative. Yeah. But I hope this has given you a little taste of what is possible with the oils. I'm so grateful for you to come.
I'm so happy to be here.
Spend your time like bringing this beautiful knowledge to people at this time that we need it the most.
Yeah.
And
I'm so grateful someone shared it with me, so I'm happy to be able to pass
share
it on.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, little dog.